Our day in Bodrum, Turkey started out with wine tasting and tantalizing tapas excursion through Virgin Voyages. This took us on a nice ride through the town to get to the family-owned boutique Vineyard. At first glance of the vineyard, there are rows and rows of beautiful olive trees. Upon entering the facility, we were guided to the storing room. It was quite awesome to see the many, many bottles of wine that have been untouched for decades. Here we got a seat at the family-style tables. The tasting included 4 wines and an assortment of tapas that ranged from cheese boards, charcuterie, fresh breads, and Turkish side dishes.
So we are award-winning for this wine. As I said, we're known for the Zinfandel and the Syrah. The Zinfandel, as I also said, no one else has it, so there is no competition for that in Turkey.
If you've never been to a wine tasting, they generally start you with the lightest wine, and you end up with the most robust. We really enjoyed all 4 of the wines that we tasted.
Other is a muska börek. It's called samguk, Indian, I guess. The secret one, roll one, has mincemeat inside and other cheese. And the meze, the side dish is sea beans, also called samphire.
It was cool to learn the processes that the family used that originated in the early 2000s, and to know that they are made by enologists or wine specialists that studied in Bordeaux, France. After the tasting, we were able to make purchases of wine and olive oil if we wanted, and got to see the chef making lunch. We had some free time to walk about the parts of the estate. It is a total of about 50 acres, so we didn't wander too far. After the excursion, we still had plenty of time in port, so in true Addy and Terry fashion, we decided to go on a walk to explore. We were very curious about the castle that was sitting off in the distance. On our walk, we saw a variety of interesting restaurants and stores, including the Happy Bear. It is decorated with larger-than-life teddy bears all around the restaurant. We also saw a park on the way and stopped to admire the sculpture and building, but no idea who it was as we don't speak or read Turkish. But we appreciated the beauty of it, just as we loved how the restaurants and shops had funny or interesting decor to entice the people to come in. As we got closer to the castle, we became very grateful for the shade sails hung high above the market. The weather was nice, but with the sun beaming down in the middle of June, it quickly became hot. The chef and me went crazy, seeing the local restaurants with fresh seafood caught that very morning, as well as the vendors cooking street food favorites. The marina had so many beautiful yachts, and also had the entrance to the Bodrum Castle. Tickets to visit the castle are €20 and fund the Bodrum Underwater Archaeology Museum as well. So just like in Athens, where we were fascinated by the Acropolis, we were truly fascinated by the castle and all it had to offer. It was originally built in 1402 and has seen all sorts of battle.
I'm defending the fortress. Just need a bow and arrow.
The entrance is the English Tower. It has 3 stories and was finished in 1413. One can only access this tower by drawbridge. This castle has had so many different uses throughout the years. It has been a site for many battles, including World War I, a military base, a prison, and for a time, it was empty for like 40 years. Here one can see the coat of arms of King Henry IV of England. The courtyard area was a favorite. It houses the chapel that was first completed in 1406. Quite simple, but beautiful inside. The courtyard also has several peacocks on the grounds that gracefully just roam about. It also had many of the items used during war displayed that were found underwater and are now preserved. Many of the large clay pots and weapons were found on sunken ships. It was fascinating to see the 4 different towers of the castle that were created due to the different nations that were in control at the time. The English, the French, the German, and the Italian towers are distinctly different but similar. Another exhibition room is devoted exclusively to the tomb of a Carian princess who died between 360 and 325 BC. We paid our respects to her and hoped she was resting peacefully. From the towers, you can see the entire city. We thought the exhibition of the Knights of St. John was really interesting. They were a medieval Catholic order that crusaded and built the castle as another stronghold over the mainland. They came to Turkey after conquering Rhodes. Seeing their armor, weapons, and markings on the wall was especially intriguing. Then we headed back to the ship so that we could get some dinner. But we could not resist the gorgeous landscape of the bay. The beautiful yachts and sailboats in the water called us back outside. Upon leaving Bodrum, we got to see a gorgeous sunset in the hills and mountains in the distance. It was a grand moment to be thankful for all that we were able to see and appreciate the history that we were able to witness. If you liked the video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, please click that bell to be notified when we post something new. If you haven't seen how this trip even started, you can see that here. Thanks, and we'll see you in the next video.